Okay, we're ready to start. 2 o'clock. Got some new people here. Appreciate you coming. How many are here for the first time?
Oh, you're in for fun.
Okay. So I'll let you know about this. What we are here is a discussion group, is what I call it. And most of the times when you come, you're going to hear me say something, present something. It's going to be along the lines of God and science. Some people think that there's a conflict between whether there's a God and what science tells us. Okay? Other people don't see a conflict. So this is what this discussion is about. And today, we're going to be talking about naturalism and materialistic thought. And what does it mean if it's true? In other words, a materialistic thought and the ideas of naturalism are true, what does that mean otherwise? Now, what I want to make sure we do today is we change the rules just a little bit. Okay, first of all, hold your questions. Everybody should bring somebody brought a pad and paper deck here. You're going to get an extra credit for that. Okay. And a bonus. With Jim, next time you come, bring some candy and give it to him, because that's what you give candy. He taught me how to do that. I did that at church. It worked out real well. Except nobody could catch it. It went all over the place. But anyway, what we're going to do today is this. I'm going to go through a short presentation. It's probably about 20 minutes. And I have a YouTube video I'm going to play if I can. I know how to do it, so if I do it right, we'll see a video. If not, we won't. But that's going to be what it's be. Now, one other thing. When we get into discussion time, and quite often, these things go on. We have a presentation of 30 or 40 minutes. I'm getting down here. And we're here for an hour and a half discussing it. Now, time flies when you're having fun, so I'm never even aware of this. We're almost 4 o'clock. So, but a lot of times it gets off subject. I'm going to exercise the authority today to keep comments and questions on subject. Meaning is we're going to talk about this. We'll hear your thoughts and comments and questions about this subject, but if you start getting into other areas we're not discussing, I'm going to call you out of order. We're going to move on. Okay? So we can stay on the subject. We may get done early, and that's okay. All right? One other thing I want to say about naturalism and materialistic thought. This is coming from the viewpoint, I am making this presentation, most of it at least until the end, based on what the latest philosophy is on materialism and naturalism. And I'm going to define what that is, all this stuff is. Now, when I do that, I'm not necessarily going to be telling you what I believe. Okay? I am not a materialist, as is defined in the next slide, and not a naturalist. Okay? I believe in supernatural things that are possible, that have happened. Okay. So let's move on and hold your comments again till the discussion period. Definition of naturalism is a theory denying that an event or object has a supernatural significance. Specifically, the doctrine that scientific laws are adequate to account for all phenomena. Okay? Again, you're going to have a hard time arguing with a lot of things I'm presenting. You can argue with my conclusions, which I do have some. But these are things that I'm not making up. These are well-worn definitions. Putting that in a little more common day terms, it means there is nothing since the beginning of the universe that does not have an explanation that's totally based on natural things and events. No room for any supernatural things happening, like God. Okay. If somebody calls themselves a naturalist and believes in the creator God, they have a little conflict. Does that that steps out of the definition. Materialism is very close to the same thing. It's a position that nothing exists except matter, things that can be measured or known through the senses. Materialists deny the existence of spirit, and they look for physical explanations for all phenomena. Now, this term here is very closely linked to the definition of science, as it is told. And my friend Bill explained to me one time, I thought it was very good, that science is the study of physical things, material things. It's not the study of anything supernatural, because science is knowledge, testable, something you can test and confirm that's true. You can't really test something immaterial. So I agree with that. Just because you believe in science doesn't mean you can't believe in the afterlife, believe in a God that created all that we see. It's consistent. It's just like you can't study them in the same way. All right. Okay, if the only things you have in your toolbox are matter, energy, natural laws, and the forces of nature, how do you build an explanation as to how everything came into existence? And how do all the things that happen? Now, I'm making a big leap here. I want to explain what I'm doing. If you remove the supernatural, some people call it the metaphysical, whatever. If you take that out of the game, it doesn't exist, it can't exist. If that's your belief, then this is what you have to work with. We know matter exists. We know what energy is. We know what the natural laws are. Fewer people know the natural laws than they know that matter and energy exist. It's the natural laws, a couple I would think of as gravity and thermodynamics. And the forces of nature. There are 4 forces in nature. One is gravity. Second is electromagnetic or electrical forces. The weak force, which only applies to the nucleus of an atom, the weak nuclear force, and the strong nuclear force, which holds the nucleus of an atom together. They are a certain value. Okay. And this answer is to explain the question, if you only have in your toolbox, what do you have to explain how everything came into existence? How do you do all the things that happen? The answer in that situation is the random chance interactions of matter to matter and energy operating in control of the natural laws of physics and the 4 natural forces of nature. It's a repeat of this up here, but that's the answer. That's what you have to explain it. And the question really is, does those 4 things adequately explain reality? All right, 2 questions. If naturalism materialistic thought is true, 1, if this is true, do we as organisms that came about by chance have any control over our thoughts and actions? That's a big question. And you said, well, sure I do. Well, I mean, 99.9% of people, if asked that question, will say, yeah, I have control over my thoughts and actions. That's an assumption that we make in our society, in our culture. And all the cultures in the world make that assumption. But if materialism is true, is it true? If our thoughts and actions are controlled by the random interaction between matter, energy, and the laws and forces of nature, why would anyone trust anything that was written or spoken by anybody? If you have no control over your thoughts, it's all happening by the forces of nature, why would anybody think you're telling the truth? Or how would you even know what the truth was? I mean, this is... You can't be a materialist or a naturalist and believe that you control your thoughts. And what will surprise you is most people who today are big speakers on this subject, agree that if materialism and naturalism is true, there is no order or anything anybody says or writes. But these people are writing about it. You understand? They're writing books about it, saying that what they say, or what they say and what they think and what they write doesn't make any sense because it's all random. They're writing books about it. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I'm telling you. Okay.